app, and we hit the list pins thing. Now, this page, we need to start modifying this to make it look the way we finally want it to look in the end. So the first thing, I think we can get rid of this listing pins thing, right? I don't think we really need that. So let's head back to our development environment, go to our app views pins index.html, and here's that listing pins. Just delete that, save, reload. Okay, so that's gone. This image and this description, I don't think we really need to put those words up on the screen. So, in fact, we don't really need any of this table stuff because we're not going to be showing these as tables. They're going to look like Pinterest pins, right? So, talking about Pinterest.com, so they're going to look like, you know, the square things with text underneath them. So we can really get rid of all of this table stuff. In fact, I'm going to just take out all this table head stuff because we don't want that. We don't want this description. We don't want this, excuse me, image. So take out the table body. And I'm just going to come through here and delete all of the table stuff. So it's these TD tags. Get rid of all of those. And the opening TD tags. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now, just move this up. I think we can change this from thumb to medium because we really want the medium image when everything's said and done. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move this to the bottom here. So looking through here, and description, we can just add a line break if we like. Save, see what that looks like. Grumpy Cat show, edit, destroy. Now, we don't really need, well, first let's look at this here. Now, if we're logged out and we look at pins and we try and destroy, it shouldn't let us do it. So yeah, you need to be signed in before you continue, right? So really, we don't need this destroy link at all, or we should change it so that only the person that created the pin can see it, because otherwise, you know, it kind of doesn't make any sense. And the edit too, if we try and edit it when we're not logged in, it just tells us we need to log in. So let's go ahead and change these two links to only show up when a person is logged in and owns this pin, right? So how do we do that? Pretty simple. We've already done this before in the past. In fact, if we pull up our views home header file, we can see this if is user signed in. How we do this is we create an if pin.user equals current user. So what's that saying? What that's saying is if the current pin's user is the current user, or if the person that made the pin is the current user, show these things. Otherwise, don't. So let's save that and go to pins here. See, we're not logged in right now, and it's not showing those two links. If we log in, then it does show those links, and we can edit and destroy and do all that good stuff. Okay, so we're getting there. Now, I don't like these all on one line, so let's move them down. So we've got the pin description, and we can just put a line break there. Okay, and so this new pin, we don't really need that because we've got this add pin link up on the up in the header here, and it's the same exact link, right? Add pin, new pin, list pins. So we can get rid of this completely. So let's swing down to our index page again and just delete that. We can delete that as well. Okay, so I'm Grumpy Cat. Show, edit, destroy. Now, finally, this show link, right? We don't really need that. Instead, what we want is for somebody to be able to click on the actual image itself and show it. So let's change this around a little bit. Let's find this show, link to show dot dash pin. So we need to make this link work on this image. But how do we do that? Because we're already using embedded Ruby here. How do we change this image to a link? So it's kind of weird because this is an image tag. How do we make this into a link to tag? Well, it's easy. We just go link to, and then we change this from a period to parentheses. Oops. Oh. Leave the parentheses. Go like this. Let's move that over. And we're just going to enclose all of these in parentheses and then pin. All right, because that's this pin right here, pin right there. So let's list our pins, and now we can click on this and it's showing up as the pin. We can see that by if we want to change this to thumb, save it, back, hit reload. So we got a thumb here. If we click on it, boom, we see the medium. So definitely two different things. Change this back to medium. Okay, so that means we can get rid of this show link. Save. Okay, so edit and back. Let's log out and see if this looks good still. Oops. Pins. I am Grumpy Cat. Now on Pinterest. Oh, you know what? We have this edit link here. It's on the show page. We need to do the same thing we did for the index page. This line right here. If the pin belongs to the current user, show this link. But we need to do that on the show page. There we go. And so that's saying if the pin belongs to the current user, show this edit link in this little bar. Otherwise, just show the back button. So if we save that and hit reload, oops, you know what? We need to add a @ sign, because in the home or on the index page, we're calling @pins. And for each thing in @pins, we do this so we don't have to add an @ sign here because we've already called @pins right there. But for the show page, there is no calling of @pins at the top. So we need to add the @pins there. So if we save that, hit reload. Okay, so that shows it. We're not logged in. Back. Log in. List pins, edit back. Okay. Okay, so one more thing is on Pinterest, it has a username underneath each one. And we don't have usernames set up yet, but we do have email addresses. If you look at your profile, you have an email. So how can we add that to our pins? We just head on over to our index page. And we have the pin description. And underneath that, I'm just going to type in this line here, put a line break behind it. And that's just saying, print out the pin user's email. All right. Save that, reload. Now it's got my email address. Let's log out and check pins. And now it's got my email address. Now this isn't great because we don't really want everybody's email address. Log back in, everybody's email address shown. Okay, so we can add an actual username or a person's name here fairly easily. Let's take a look at our database schema. So move this down. So right now we have these two tables. We have the users table and the pins table, right? So if we want to add something, if we want to make our email address is being shown for our users, right here. If we want to make this instead an actual name, what we need to do is add another column to this users table. And we've already done this before a couple of videos ago when we added, let's see, what did we add? Oh, the image. We added the image. And so now we just need to add a name to our users table. So it's fairly easy to do. Punch in the command Rails generate migration, add name to users, right? So we have the same convention as last time we added something. It's add name to, and then users is the table we want to name to, or we want to add to. Name is right here. Now we're defining name as being a string, and that makes sense. It's not an integer after all. So strings are pretty good chance, or pretty good choice. So let's hit enter. Ooh, you know what? Last time we added stuff, we came into all kinds of troubles with the images that were already there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete. See, we've already broken it. Well, we can delete the one on our Heroku app at least. Let's do that now. Okay. So the reason why this is a problem is because we just added something to our database. We created a new migration, and in fact, if we look under database migrate, we can see a new migration has been created where we're adding the column users, or we're adding the column name, which is a string, to users. But after we ran this line right here, we didn't run rake db migrate, and you always have to do that when you create a migration. So if we run rake db migrate, and remember, we'll also have to run Heroku run rake db migrate to make the same change on Heroku when we push it up. But then if we come back here and hit reload, it should work this time after we've run okay. So that's fine. So list pins, there are no pins. So let's look at our schema again here. And now if we look under users, we'll also see this name listed here. So that was added successfully, but we haven't added this name anywhere to our actual program anywhere. So we should do that. And the first place we're going to need to do that is on our devise layouts. So, I mean, think about it. If somebody signs up right now, if I log out and let's say I want to join, it just asks for my email and password. We're also going to need to ask for a name now, right? So let's add that right now. So we can head to our devise views devise, and let's see, registration, new. So sign up. All right, we're in the right place. So let's put it right at the top here. So I'm just basically copying this and pasting it in, but instead of email, I'm typing in name. Email, name. So keep the rest, save it, hit reload, and boom, just that easy. We've got a name. Now we also have to make some changes to our controller. So let's go into our application controller and let's add, and I'll copy this below the video so you can just copy and paste this, but basically what we're doing is we're saying when you sign up or you update your account, you can put in this name thing, right? It's just basically just allowing us to add in a name on sign up. So if I log in, so far so good, but now if I want to edit my profile, again, there's no field here for name, so we'll need to add that too. So let's check out our devise views again, and like registration edit. That is edit user. Okay. So same thing as before. We're just gonna copy this and paste it here and change wherever it says email to name. And also the email field needs to be a text field. And that's the same thing on the new file as well. Text field, email field, right? So come back here and click save and update it. And okay, so now let's see if this will update. Your account has been updated. Okay, so let's check and see. Oh, it did not show up, right? So something else needs to be done here. And usually when we're dealing with something like this, it's something in the controller. So let's go look at our controller. Controllers, pins controllers, home controller, application controller. So pin params, let's add name. Save that. Still not working. You know what I did? I forgot to save this file. So this is our application controller. And I didn't explain it very well before, but basically what we're doing is we're adding these two things right here that says when a person signs up, accept a name, and when they want to update their account, edit their profile, accept the name field. So that's basically all we're doing here. So if we add John Elder, type in your password, update. Okay, it has been updated successfully. Now if we click this again, boom, there it is, it shows up. So the last thing to do is just simply, well, let's add another pin because we've deleted all of our other pins. I'm going to call this Grumpy. We'll make this that second one, submit. Okay, so go back. Now on our index page, we've still got the email, so we need to change this to make sure it shows just the name of the user. So close those. So if we go to our pins index, okay, and then all we have to do is change email to name, right? Because we're asking for the name, not the email. Save that. Reload, boom, there's the name. Rummy. We can change that. Okay, so this is the index. If we click on it, the show does not have that. So let's go back and, oops, let's also add that to the show page. So I'm just going to copy this and we can open up our show.html page. And description, just paste this in here, and same thing as before, we've got to put this @ thing in front of it. Boom, save, upload, or reload. If I click it, oh, maybe I don't have to do that. Let's try it without it. Okay, so basically I just deleted this little bit, this if statement at the end, if pin user. Apparently we don't need that. So let's log out and check our pins. Here we have the name. If we click on it, still have the name, description. Okay, so I think that's enough for this video. We're going to spruce this up a little bit more in the next video, make this look a little bit better, and then we're going to move on to a jQuery and something called masonry, which is going to actually make these look the way that we want them to look, in those sort of Pinterest style pins, and also allow the animations and stuff to move them around the screen whenever the screen is resized. So one step closer to finishing our project, and that's all for this video.